What if I told you that in the heart of Kolkata, behind the doors of an ordinary house, a man lived with the dead bodies for months, that every night he whispered to skeletons, played music for them, left food beside their decayed bodies, believing they would wake up? Could you believe this? As we all know, truth is stranger than fiction. This is the story of the infamous Kolkata House of Horror. Let's get into this video. June 10th, 2015. A quiet morning on Robinson Street took a terrifying turn. A house was on fire. Frantic neighbors wasted no time. They called the firefighters. Arriving at the scene, the crew knocked on the door, but no one answered. The door was locked. Then they saw it, thick smoke creeping out from the bathroom window. With no time to waste, they forced their way inside, searching for the source of the fire. And then they reached the bathroom. What they found inside left them frozen in shock, because what they saw was nothing short of a nightmare. As the firefighters entered the bathroom, they saw something horrifying. A man burned in the bathtub. He was dead. Nearby, they found a gasoline can and a lighter, along with some written notes. The man was identified as Aurobindo Day, a 77-year-old. But then the police noticed something strange, a strong, foul smell. But it wasn't coming from the bathroom, it was from the bedroom. As they followed the smell, something else caught their attention. Throughout the house, a voice recording was playing. It was a spiritual speech from an evangelist, repeating over and over again. The police slowly opened the bedroom door, and what they saw was terrifying. They had no idea this discovery would shock all of Kolkata. Lying on the bed was a human skeleton, neatly tucked under a bedsheet. Beside it, the skeletons of two dogs. Near the bed, rotted food sat untouched. The police soon uncovered a chilling truth. The skeleton belonged to Debjani Day, the daughter of Aurobindo Day. A horrifying revelation, but the mystery was far from over. Determined to find more answers, the officers searched every corner of the house. That's when they heard it. A soft, repetitive thudding sound coming from another room. It was faint, yet unsettling. Cautiously, they approached the door and slowly pushed it open. What they saw left them in shock. A man stood inside, repeatedly banging his head against the wall, lost in his own world. His eyes were hollow, his expression vacant, as if he were trapped in an endless loop of torment. His name was Partha Day, the son of Aurobindo Day, and the brother of Debjani Day. At that moment, the police realized this case was far more disturbing than they had ever imagined. Partha was arrested and sent for psychiatric evaluation at Pavlov Mental Hospital. The police were left with more questions than answers. What really happened in this house? How did it all unfold? Was Partha Day a murderer? A psychopath? Or was there something even more sinister at play? Determined to uncover the truth, the investigation took a deeper turn. The police began digging through every piece of evidence, searching for clues that could finally explain the horrors hidden within these walls. Among the scattered belongings near Aurobindo Day's burnt body, the police found a single note. Just 3 haunting words were written on it. "Miss you, daughter." Nothing more. No explanation. No farewell. This pointed to one thing: suicide. But that only raised more questions. What happened to Debjani? Why did Aurobindo take his own life? Hoping to unravel the mystery, the police turned to the only person who could have the answers: Partha Day. Arthi Day, the mother of Debjani and Partha, was a strict and controlling woman. But beyond that, she was mentally unstable. She never let her children step out into the world. No friends, no social life, just the 4 walls of their home. For Partha, Debjani was his only companion, his only friend. The bond between them was unbreakable. They grew up together, isolated from the world, finding comfort in each other. After their parents' separation, both Partha and Debjani were left alone in their own worlds. Partha went to live with his mother, while Debjani stayed with their father. But no matter how far life took them, they always stuck together whenever they met. Their bond remained unbreakable. They were more than just siblings. They were each other's world. Even when they entered college, they clung to each other, inseparable as always. They had no one else, only each other. After graduation, life took them in different directions. Partha secured a job as an engineer, while Debjani left for London to pursue higher studies. In 2005, Arthi Day passed away. Her death shattered both Partha and Debjani. Partha immediately left his job in the USA and returned to Kolkata to be with his father. But something about their grief was unusual. They believed she never truly left. So much so that they made a shocking decision. They never attended her funeral. The entire family had always been deeply spiritual, but after Arthi's death, their beliefs became something more, something obsessive. Debjani too left her job and withdrew from the outside world. In fact, none of them stepped outside anymore. They shut themselves inside their home, completely consumed by spirituality. Things got even worse. The family barely spoke to each other. Conversations turned silent, replaced by scribbled messages on torn pieces of paper. The only form of communication they had. These notes would later be found, revealing the eerie isolation they lived in. In 2014, Debjani's beloved dogs passed away. She was devastated. But more than grief, she believed it was a curse. Determined to break free from it, she turned to extreme measures. She began fasting. Partha, desperate to save his sister, begged her to eat. She was his only emotional support, the only person he had left. But Debjani refused. In December 2014, she passed away. Partha was shattered, but in his mind, she was never truly gone. Consumed by grief and denial, he made a disturbing choice. He continued living with her corpse. He sealed off every door and window of her room, isolating it from the outside world. And for months, he slept beside her lifeless body, refusing to let go. Then in 2015, another tragedy struck. Aurobindo Day could no longer bear the grief and the eerie silence in the house. He poured gasoline over himself and set himself on fire. And with that, the shocking case finally came to light. After spending time in a mental hospital, Partha Day was released in 2016 and tried to start over. He moved into a new apartment in Kolkata, cutting off all ties with his past. But the ghosts of Robinson Street never left him. On February the 21st, 2017, just 2 years after the horrifying discovery, Partha Day was found dead in his new apartment. The man who once lived among the dead had now become one of them. And in a tragic twist, even in death, Partha remained alone. His body lay unclaimed in the morgue for days. No relatives, no friends came forward to perform his last rites. In the end, he was cremated as an unclaimed body, forgotten by the world. Partha Day's story is a haunting reminder of the dangers of isolation, the stigma surrounding mental health, and the devastating effects of unresolved grief. If anything, this case shows us that sometimes the scariest ghosts are not spirits, but the ones that live inside our minds. What do you think about this shocking case? How do you see this family's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this case intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling crime investigations.